You know, I should really actually be playing the new BioShock Infinite game right now because I just got back from LA and that's what I want to do. In fact, I have it installed on my computer. It's up on my monitor right now, and here I am making a video response to this woman. But you guys tweeted me. This is what you guys wanted. This was posted to my Facebook and tweeted to me a bazillion jillion times, and I'm like, fine, I will hold off BioShock Infinite for 15 more minutes, and I will make this response. So, let's get this over with, shall we?
Hey everyone, so today's video is about masturbation and the reason why it's not morally right and why it's wrong.
You know, I always hate it when someone starts their video off by saying morally right or wrong. How do you define what is morally right? How do you define what is right, and how do you define what is wrong? See, here's the thing. As you go further to explain this video, your belief system for what you believe is morally right or wrong is based upon a religious textbook, which really has no credibility, especially since it's 2,000-year-olds and written by humans. But that's besides the point. Rather, if you're going to use the word wrong or right, what is morally right, you need to define your terms, because I perceive wrong or something that's morally right or something that's morally wrong, I define that as what it does to society, culture, but most of all what it does to an individual. If I harm someone, I abuse someone, hit someone, murder someone, kill someone, do whatever that's harmful to them, then I would deem that morally wrong. But for your own religious convictions, you can't say that this is morally wrong for other people when it's your religious convictions. Because the moment you tell someone, you know, you're wrong for masturbating is the moment that you start, whether you try to sugarcoat it or not, is the moment that you start forcing your religious beliefs down someone's throat. And I don't like that. Nobody likes that. Nobody likes people who forces their belief down someone else's throat. And it's no one's place for me or you to tell someone that you're morally wrong because you're doing something that you enjoy or that you like, that is healthy for you. There are exceptions, obviously, but I'm talking about something that's healthy for you and brings you pleasure, brings you happiness, whatever it be.
A lot of people ask me, why do I say masturbation is evil? Or even boyfriends have asked, you don't masturbate? And I know it can be a little confusing, and it might be why is it morally wrong? Like, I don't understand. Society tells us it's healthy to masturbate. And the thing is, a society will say tons of things that are disordered, are good, or healthy for you, when they're in fact not.
No, I actually agree with you to an extent here regarding culture and society giving us things that may or may not be healthy for us and saying that it is when it's not. However, you're missing one final point. Science and biology. In fact, males who do masturbate 1 or 2 times a day, it reduces their risk of ever having prostate cancer. This has been recorded in medical journals, the APA of Psychological Association of Psychology, and on and on and on. This is scientific fact that masturbation is in fact healthy. This is not something that society is just saying because they think it is. It's been proven it is. Kind of like evolution, but let's not get into that. My point is that masturbation is healthy. I have links down to support it, and if you're going to make a claim that masturbation is not healthy and that it's bad, you're going to have to supply links and evidence and scientific documentation to support your claim, which you will not do because there are none. Plain and simple.
That's just the world we live in. And so, where I'm coming from on this video is from a Catholic standpoint of my church, and also just like my personal views of why I don't think, why I don't masturbate and why I don't think a lot of people should. So, just so you guys know, I am celibate. I have been for 3 years, and it was, you know, it seems short, but it's long because I'm only 24, so it's about half my adult life. And I stopped having sex because, you know, I would go from guy to guy, relationship to relationship, and I would just pray and ask God, why? Like, why can't I keep a relationship? Why can't I find a good guy? What is wrong with me? What am I doing wrong? And, you know, just through reading scriptures and talking with people at my church and just praying on it, you know, the answer came to me, and it was because I did not save myself for marriage. I was just giving my body to anybody, and that's not the way God intended. So God intended sex to be between 2 people, to have an enjoyable way to procreate, and sex is not actually for pleasure. When I say enjoyable, I don't mean I don't mean like pleasure. I'm saying enjoyable as in it's not painful,
I have a really hard time taking anything you say seriously, not because you're stupid, which you are, but because of this photo right here. Cotton candy dick in my mouth. That's what you wrote on Tumblr just a few hours ago with this photo of cotton candy. As if, cotton candy dick in my mouth. Ha 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 ha. Really? You're gonna sit here and make a whole video about masturbation when you're posting photos like this? Your reputation is going down the poo hole. In fact, I don't even know how Dr. Phil managed to get you on his show, because the type of person you are and the things that you say, and then you blatantly contradict yourself with things that don't even represent you, and then you claim to be something that you are, and then you're really not. Yeah, that's not good for your reputation. That's not good for your internet e-fame, which I don't even know how you managed to have.
It's something that can be beautiful because it's creating another life from God. So it's not intended for pleasure. And I think that kind of then goes with the masturbation. You're not supposed to, it's not supposed to be something just for fun. Just, you just abuse it. And that's the thing, a lot of people do abuse sex and masturbation. Also, you're withholding from your spouse when you masturbate. So if you are married and you masturbate, you're withholding what's supposed to be with your spouse, and that's never a good thing either. And also there's infidelity in your heart, because a lot of times with masturbation comes, fantasy thoughts, pornography, so it's a form of cheating in that sense, because your heart's not pure and it's taking away something, and you're in a way being an adulterer. For me too, it's, you guys, and I know a lot of you are young, it's nothing, you're not missing out on anything. It's very, to me, I feel dirty afterwards. I feel like it just was nothing that ever gave me any substance. It only like harmed my personal life and my feelings, and it confused things, and it's just, and there's a reason for that. You start feeling confused, you start feeling used, you start feeling dirty, and it's God's way of telling you, like, this is not the right path. This is not how you're going to find love. This is not how you're going to live the life that I intended you to. So just hold out, hold in, and we all get urges, and that's totally normal. It's just to kind of put those to the back of our minds, to put it to the side, that eventually those urges will just suddenly decrease.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Suddenly those urges are just going to decrease. I don't know how many people know this, but I was celibate from 2009 all the way up to summer of 2012. I was celibate, meaning that I partaked in no sexual activity, meaning no masturbation, nothing of that sort. And I can honestly say from that experience of being celibate for several years that me being celibate made me want to masturbate more. I wanted to, I was horny, like, I'd see a girl, if she was attractive, like my Twinkie would go, woo, go over there, she's attractive, and I'm like, no, and it's going like this, and it's going, I want that person, go talk to her, and I'm like, no, I'm not going to think that, my mind's a clean Christian little boy mind, because I used to be an evangelical conservative Christian. I was very sexually repressed, I should just say that, and one of the reasons I didn't masturbate and why I was because I felt bad. I felt bad about masturbation because when I was in my religion of Christianity, and I was a conservative Christian, I was taught that masturbation was wrong, and that it was sin, and that it was bad, and that I would feel guilt, and on the guilt that I would feel shame, and with the shame I wouldn't do it, and when I wouldn't do it, I would, yeah. Make a long story short, I was sexually repressed from my religion, and one of the reasons I was celibate was because of guilt. And because of that guilt is one of the reasons why I wouldn't masturbate. And it was very difficult for me because I was conflicting with my beliefs at the time, changing who I was, trying to figure out what I believed, and I remained celibate from 2009 all the way up to 2012, and it was hard. I never want to go back to that. I never want to do that again, and I'm thankfully I'm not celibate anymore, because it was quite a difficult challenge to say. But nonetheless, I managed to do it, and I'm never going to do it again. But from personal experience, that statement is absolute crap. No, you can't just sex is as healthy. Sex is part of human biology. It's humans' it's part of nature. Sex is part of nature. It's part of what people and humans do. Whether they're guy on guy, girl girl, guy on girl, whatever. Sex is natural. And you shouldn't try to repress yourself. And that includes masturbation.
If you keep doing it and engaging in sexual activity and masturbation, you know, you're going to keep wanting. But just like with any addiction or anything that's not healthy for you, the more you wean off of it just slowly and just, you know, it's best to do it cold turkey like I did. I just was like, no more sex. Because eventually you just stop craving it. And I think, I don't know because I'm not married, but I think when you do find the person that you're meant to be with, then you just know that it's okay. And then when you're married, you're just like, this is what I was holding out for. This is what happiness is, and this is what I feel fulfills my life. And just a couple more quick thoughts that kind of tie in with my religious beliefs, but also my personal beliefs. It's also a very selfish thing. The focus is on yourself when you masturbate.
Wait, so hold on a moment. When I masturbate, I'm actually thinking of my face. I'm thinking of my body. I'm thinking of myself when I masturbate. That's kind of selfish. Because normally when I masturbate, if I do masturbate, I'm usually thinking about somebody else, not me. I mean, unless someone has a real big ego trip and they can think of themselves just like as being really hot, I have never been able to masturbate of thinking of myself. So I don't really see how masturbation is any way selfish, when in fact I'm actually thinking about somebody else and how beautiful their body is or how amazing they look. I don't see how that's selfish.
And that's definitely not something that is Christian or godly-like. You should never be self-indulgent in that sense. Also, you know, you're refusing fertility. So this kind of ties in with our beliefs on birth control and why I never took it, why I don't, because you're trying to stop fertility. You're trying to become, you're trying to play God in a sense. Sex was meant to reproduce. So if you're on birth control, you're stopping that egg. So marriage, obviously you have kids, and if you don't want kids in a marriage, then you can plan it out naturally when to have sex and when to not. And for young girls, I know a lot of you are going to be like, oh my god, don't tell young girls not to take birth control. Well, I'm telling young girls don't have sex, period. And then there's just no way you'll ever get pregnant if you abstain from sex. So that's that. And also too, with men with masturbation, you know, you can become sterile if you masturbate too much. So I would just say, just abstain from that. Females, abstain from it. It's honestly, it'll change your life. Masturbation can be a distraction.
What?
Masturbation, I mean, it is evil in a sense because it's just going against what God wants for you.
But I remember someplace in the Bible God actually tells us that He wants us to be happy. He wants us to be satisfied. And, well, masturbation is just how we do that. I mean, do you know how many biblical references there are in the Bible of referencing spilling your seed?
So no judgment here. There's no judgment at all.
Yes, there is a lot of judgment here. You said masturbation is evil. Therefore, if someone is masturbating or masturbates, they are considered evil. That's a really, really big power word to call someone and tell someone that they're evil for doing a healthy act of masturbation. That's judgmental. And you even started off the video by saying that it's morally wrong to masturbate. Who says? By what standard do you derive morally wrong from? The Bible? Yes. That's your line of argumentation is the Bible. And the moment you use that, all your credibility goes out the window. Everything you have to say and all your reasoning goes out the window. If you can come up with a reasoning for why one shouldn't masturbate without using the Bible, which actually seems to endorse lots of masturbation considering how many seeds are spilled.
I'm kind of more explaining my views on it. I'm not going to push them down your throats, but maybe this helps enlighten some people as to if they're confused or if they were like me at one point where you couldn't find a healthy relationship or you didn't have even a healthy relationship with yourself. Maybe taking these steps will help change that. And for young girls, you know, just wait, hold out. If there's one thing I regret in my life, I have very few regrets, but one thing I regret is having sex for the first time, which kind of led me on this downward spiral, just looking for love. But now I have the love of God, I have the love of myself, and it's really all you need until you find that significant one that God, you know, made for you, that He created for you.
God did not create anyone. Creation of a human being is made by a man having sex with a woman by placing his penis in what is known as a vagina, and through him ejaculating, he makes a seed, and that seed goes wooda 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 wooda, and a bunch of other little seeds go and then finds it like a little cell and goes, and then a baby is made. That's how it happens. That's how it works. God doesn't create any babies. God doesn't make someone pregnant. The act of sex does.
So, anyways, I just wanted to clear that up. A lot of people have asked and wondered, and I totally get it. It's a totally logical question, and why would I say that? It seems like such a bold statement, and it is. When I say masturbation is evil, it throws a lot of people off, but it also gives me the chance then to kind of dive into the reasoning behind it, and people are usually willing to listen if they have an open mind.
I'd suggest before you use the phrase open mind that you actually take a look at science, because science opens everybody's mind if you're willing, and if you're willing to look at science, you can have an open mind. You can learn so much. But I'd like to end this video with my words of wisdom. My penis only has 3 main things that it needs to do. 1, pee. 2, make babies. 3, blow a load. Masturbate. It's healthy for you.